Hi students, in our first video we already talked about the distance and the displacement. Now it's time to talk about the speed and velocity, some of the confusing topics for physics students. So let's start with the speed. What's speed? Speed is the distance traveled in unit time. So basically, we have the formula speed equals distance divided by time. And we generally, that use letters for the quantities in physics. For the speed or velocity, we use the letter V equals, we represented the distance by using L and time is represented by T. V equals L over T. So this is the formula for the speed. And what is velocity? Velocity is the displacement in a unit time. So you see the similarity between the formulas for speed and velocity. Velocity equals displacement divided by time. Let's use the letters. V equals D divided by T. They resemble each other, but the difference is the speed is scalar quantity. Speed is scalar. You have to remember this one. But velocity is vector quantity. And we already know that the scalar quantities has only magnitude, while vector quantities has both magnitude and direction. So it means that speed has only magnitude, but velocity has magnitude and the direction as well. So representing the vector quantities, we use arrows above the letters. So it means that velocity is vector quantity and displacement is also vector quantity because it has direction. But as you see from the formulas, the speed has the unit of 1 meter per second, because the unit for the length is meter, for the distance is meter, and for the time the unit is second. But generally we write something like this: meters to the second minus 1. Instead of division we can use that technique. And of course for the velocity it has the same unit, 1 meters second to the power of minus 1. It has the same units. Let's try to have an example in order to understand the speed and the velocity. So let's say that an object starts to move from the point A and it comes to the point B. Let's say that this distance is 20 meters. And then it travels 16 meters. And then it travels 8 meters. All the angles are right angle. So the question is, try to find out the first A, find out the distance. B, find out the displacement. And C, find out the speed. And D, find out the velocity of the object. And of course, we should give the time needed for entire motion. So let's say that the time needed for motion is 5 seconds. I mean that it takes 5 seconds to travel from point A to the point D. So the total time is 5 seconds. Now it's time to calculate each quantities. Let's start with the distance. We said that if you want to find the distance, you should sum all the lengths of the path. So here we have 20 meters, here we have 16 meters and 8 meters. So we add them up. 20 plus 16 plus 8 equals 44 meters, right? So this is the distance. Coming to the displacement, we said that displacement is the shortest distance from initial point to the final point. Our initial point is A and final point is D. Let's draw the straight line from A to D. So this one is displacement. We should have some geometrical skills to calculate the length of this straight line. So we can separate it into triangle, and as you see, this one is 8 meters DC. So this part is also 8 meters, right? So they are parallel and equal to each other. So this one is also 8 meters. And the total length of AB is 20 meters. So if this part is 8 meters, then the left side will be 12 meters. And BC, as you see, is 16 meters. This line is parallel to the BC and equal in the length. So this one is 16 meters. Now, as you see, we have a triangle here, a right triangle. Here we have 90 degrees. So we will use Pythagorean theorem to find out the distance, the displacement from A to D. Let's use it. 12 square plus 16 square equals D square. And D equals 20 meters. So the displacement is 20 meters. And coming to the speed, what was speed? Speed was equal to the distance divided by time. We already calculated distance. The L equals 44 meters divided by 5. So it is 8.5 meters second to the power of minus 1. And coming to the velocity, velocity equals the displacement divided by time. We already calculated the displacement. It is 20 meters divided by 5, so 5 seconds, and equals 4 meter times second to the power of minus 1. As you see from this example, that speed is greater than the velocity. Why? Because we said that the distance is greater than the displacement. Times are equal to each other. So if the distance is greater than displacement, then it is fair enough to have greater speed than velocity. Thank you for your attention.